What is the nutshell technique?
So the nutshell technique is a method that I created for my students and clients to address this chronic problem I see, that 99% of writers fail to tell a story, that instead the 99% situation. So all I did is I drew up the 8 essential elements required to successfully tell a story, created the schematic. It's a 1-page schematic. These are not beats in time. These are elements that are connected. That's what makes it different. This isn't it isn't a strictly linear structure. If you look at the form, and folks can download my form from my website, JillChamberlin.com. The key is the connect. You'll see all these little arrows and things explaining the connection between the boxes. And that's what makes it different. I'm getting at the glue that is required to tell a story, that is required to make sure that it's not episodic. A story is not isolated events. There's a connection between them. And this gets you visually, is a way for you to identify, first of all, what are those elements? Do you have those 8 elements in your story? And then are they working together in conjunction? They need to work together. And it's about making choices, actually. It's about finding out what you're married to. Once people start to, because it forces you to get things out of your head and on this piece of paper. And it's not a lot of homework. It's not like I'm asking you to write, a long beat sheet, multi-page beat sheet to explain. It's pretty brief on 1 page. Let's see if I can identify these 8 elements, first of all. If you can, you want to see visually how they're working together. And if they're not working, you can see it right on the form. So it's a way of finding out, what am I married to? I really love this premise about a guy who wakes up and it's the same day all over again. But it's not working with this flaw that I identified of that he is naive. That flaw doesn't work with this, right? So which one do you want to change? You want to change the flaw, or you want to change the great premise? I'd probably stick with the great premise, right? But then I have to think, well, what would be the right character to put in that circumstance where they wake up and it's the same day again? Yeah, somebody who's naive, that wouldn't really work. That's not a really good test for them. What about somebody who's really self-centric? Right? Now you can see right on the form, okay, that works much better. This is going to be a much better test of somebody who's self-centered and self-centric. If they're repeating the same day again and again, it's going to get really boring. Right? It's going to force them to start trying to do different things and maybe finally change and find something better in themselves when they realize that life isn't really worth living if you're just living it for yourself every day. Right? So it's going to take him all that time to figure out in this journey and this test you've put him on of suddenly being caught in a universe where he's waking up and it's the same day again, to finally face this flaw deep down in himself and find a way to change. And that's how he breaks from the cycle.
And also play off someone who is more naive and has more of a sort of a broader view of the world. Yeah.
Yeah, right, as a contrast to that character. So it's a way of just isolating these elements really simply. It's a very simple method, really. Very simply, you can see what's working and what's not working right there on your piece of paper. And it's just a matter of kind of small adjustments very often can make a huge difference between a story, first of all, not working, being a situation, not feeling satisfying, and one that's satisfying, that, it helps you find that unexpected and surprising ending and satisfying way of doing things that you're probably not going to find otherwise if you're just following a beat sheet method or if you're just keeping with a situation.